Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jerome Sawyer with a special ZNS TV update. What is already being described as the largest disaster in recent aviation history in the Bahamas taking place at the Lynden Pinley International Airport this afternoon. You see there pictures of that plane crash. We have the very latest information to pass along to you. Around 12:30 this afternoon, a 9-seater Cessna aircraft took off headed to San Salvador. Eyewitnesses reported seeing smoke coming from the plane's engine upon takeoff. Seconds later, the plane apparently took a nosedive and crashed into Lake Killarney adjacent to the airport. On board, a pilot and 7 passengers. All 8 individuals are dead. Rescue crews rushed to the scene. They managed to take 1 individual from the plane and take him to hospital. He later died. At about 2 this afternoon, Assistant Commissioner Hewlin Hanna spoke with reporters on the scene.
Sometime around 12:30 p.m. today's date, the information is that a Cessna 402 aircraft took off from one of the eastern ramps here at LPIA. It is reported that shortly thereafter, this aircraft went down into waters in Lake Killarney. Emergency crews responded from the police, the Defense Force, NAD, persons from the general aviation community, and they were able to retrieve from the wreckage the bodies of 7 persons, all who have since been pronounced dead by emergency personnel. An 8th person was transported to hospital in very bad condition. That person, unfortunately, has since succumbed to injuries. Investigations are ongoing now. We do not know precisely what happened.
Well, family members, rescue teams, police, defense force, NAD officials, and even some NEMA representatives were on the scene to help family members visibly overcome with grief. Rescue teams and medical teams immediately turned from rescue to recovery mode as it was clear that all 7 on board were dead. Meanwhile, police appealing to eyewitnesses to come forward with whatever information they could to begin to put the pieces of this disaster together.
We was first on the scene when the plane went up, then started smoking, and all of a sudden she come down. Yeah, and then we ran out to the scene, we swam out, and we retrieved 8 people. 1 we sent to the hospital, and 7 people we pull outside the plane dead, all dead. 7 people all dead on the ground.
Describe what you saw.
Nasty scene, terrible scene. Terrible. Everybody legs, arms, spine, neck broken, head dash open. Real bad scene.
Men, women?
All men.
Now, already some procedural questions are being raised about this flight. We spoke with accident investigator from Civil Aviation, Delvin Major, a short time ago.
Around shortly after 12, we received a call from the control tower that an aircraft just crashed into the lake. And it was aircraft from Charlie 6 November Lima Hotel. We were told initially that there was 1 soul on board, but upon arriving at the scene, we discovered there was actually 8 persons on board. By the time my department, the Civil Aviation Department investigation team, arrived at the scene, there were 7 bodies laid out, covered, and the other body, I was told, the other person was taken to the hospital, but I later learned that they did not make it. So while we were there, I went out on scene at the aircraft and started our investigation.
Okay. Now, I'm curious about that discrepancy. You were told that 1 person was on board. What, if anything, do you make of that?
Well, according to the flight plan, the pilot, he filed a flight plan that showed 1 person. Okay, that seemed to be quite common nowadays. We've been finding that out, where pilots would put down their passenger load as 1 person, but when you do go to the aircraft, there's usually more than 1 person on board, which is a very bad thing, because if we had gone by the paperwork that we had, we would have been looking for 1 person when there was actually 7 more out there.
Delvin Major of Civil Aviation speaking with our Keishla Smith. A statement coming in from Prime Minister Hubert Ingram on today's tragedy. I'll read you a portion of it. On behalf of the government and people of our nation, I extend deepest condolences to the families and friends of each of the individuals who met their untimely deaths early this afternoon. All relevant government agencies are lending their assistance in this tragic matter. When we come back, a quick check on sports, plus a look at the forecast. Stay with us.